Welcome to the 9 o'clock hour. It's your girl, America Jones. Last hour of the show, but it's also the best hour because it's Thursday. So that means it is Therapy Thursday. I'm so grateful to be rocking with you. Last week we had an amazing special guest that came in and hung out with me, and it was a whole moment in life. So I asked them to come back. Please, will you come back? I'm begging. We had such a good time. I need a repeat. And we have so much more to cover. And then I asked them also to come on more often. So you'll be hearing from them often. But welcome back to the show, Dr. Tara J.
Thank you.
I'm really grateful that you said yes to come back because I feel like we had like this unresolved question that we didn't get to.
Yes. We usually have that with our conversations where it's like, there's more.
Right? And there's more. You need to pay attention to part 2. We really are a good horror movie, right? Like, you know, all the stuff and you're on the cliffhanger and it's the end and then you got to wait for the next edition.
Nope, I don't want to wait.
Absolutely not. But I've got a big question for you and we're going to talk all about it this hour. It has to do with what's happening in America today. Yeah, it's gonna be a good conversation. So I'm gonna keep us short right here so we can dig into it when we come back after we hear a little bit of music from Janet Jackson and a little new edition, and then we'll come back and I'm gonna ask that question. So get ready for your answer.
I'm ready.
And I know it's gonna be shocking, but I think you're going to be ready for it. So keep it right here to Soulher Radio. We're going to jump into some Janet Jackson and Runaway. 9 o'clock hour, Therapy Thursday going down right here on this brand new radio station, Soulher Radio. Rest in peace to the heavyweight lover, Heavy D and the boys. We got our own thing off the Big Time album. I'm your girl, America Jones. It is Therapy Thursday, and I am joined by the illustrious, incomparable Dr. Tara J.
Hello.
Hey. So off air, we were talking a little bit about owning our story. Right now, this is where I think we have the greatest opportunity because the one thing, love it or hate it, Trump will get to the story before, even if he's making it up. But he holds such space around storytelling. Like, we all know that pool was not
We know it wasn't vandalized.
We know it wasn't vandalized. Everybody, but there's people out going for the okie doke. It's okay. Believe what you believe. However, like the power in the story to give doubt that maybe it did get vandalized, and maybe that did happen, right? Like the power of the story, and that's where I feel like we lost the pacing.
Yeah.
As Black America, I think the culture was surrounded by our music, our fashion, because there's no way that these big fashion houses that were not established to support us clamored to accept some, to put some forward, right? And we aspire still, in so many cases, to have that be a status symbol still for ourselves, right? So what can you say? You're a storyteller. You're an award-winning storyteller. I have to say that.
Thank you.
Like all of the things. And it's so proud. I was there when they won their first award for, not their first, but the first award in our work together.
Yeah.
In that play, it was phenomenal. That whole night was so magical because I think it was the most awards by folks of color that.
Yeah, it was huge. That night was huge. And I think it's also important to go back with that story where it was like, as we were all winning our individual categories, it was also being able to be acknowledged for the journey, because that was a hard journey for many of us. And specifically when, I won that award, it was having to push back on many of the other filmmakers to be like, this is a story about a Black man coming into Colorado and making Colorado what it was, right?
Yeah.
Like the reason why Colorado became a state was because of much of what this man was doing. And where I said his name would have been erased if it had not been for other Black folks being like, no, we need to tell his story.
Yeah.
And with that, it was me working with everyone who was on that project to say, let me share with you what it feels like is this project important? And every one of them said, yes, it is. I said, great, take your name off of it. And the
vitriol.
the fighting and how upset how people were that I got called into HR. And like, it was the craziest thing. But I just kept sitting there being like, this is the part that I need you to understand. It is important to tell the story. This story would have been lost, but it took someone to be like, if it's that important, remove your name.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter who's telling it. It's about the person whose journey it went through.
Right.
That's it.
Right. But we saw that in that same organization. We saw that multiple times. They came through and had a story about Cleo Parker Robinson that they wanted to show.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the story, the actual journalist and storyteller who was behind this came to talk to me.
Yeah.
Right. Came to talk to me and said, they're saying, no, I can't tell the story. And I was like, tell it anyway.
Tell it anyway.
Tell it anyway. Why? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing the erasure of people's names off of stories.
That part.
But even with that being said, this is one of the most brilliant times I've ever seen in the media landscape for people of color.
Yes.
Because now you have technology that's your friend.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that this station would have started if the technology wasn't as good as it is.
Yes.
It is so present and it's so good that it allowed us to lift up an entire radio station and bring it to air.
Yeah.
In less than a year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There is a technology boom, right, within the media space that is untapped. And there's a reason why it's untapped, because there's still a lot of gatekeeping that's going on. But once that is removed, I am so excited for Black folks. That's all I'm going to say, because
the future is bright.
We will be taking that over.
Yeah, we will. I mean, I look at Byron Allen.
Yeah.
Like, he said some really great stuff. He's like, we got to own our stories. We got to own the platforms.
Yes.
Not just our stories, but the platforms in which we are speaking of our stories. And so that's one of the brilliant things about Soulher.
Yeah.
Is the fact that nobody owns us.
Nope.
We are free and clear, independent, doing this on our own.
Mm-hmm. Flying in the sky.
Yeah, I mean, we making it up as we go. Listen, we building this plane while we flying the plane. And that part, I think, really resonates with this whole, we are our greatest asset and everything that we need is inside of ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
It's still terrifying, though. I'm not going to say it's not.
Well, yeah, it absolutely is. And it is, we have to rely on each other, right? Like, we have to.
But that's scary, though.
Yes, it is, because many of us have gone through the experience of like bullying and, being told that we're not good enough. And it's also like, we have everything that we need, and we need to look at ourselves and say, you are good enough.
Yeah.
You are doing what you need to be doing and giving yourself grace.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also about building that trust.
With yourself.
And with others. So we're going to talk about that trust before we get up out of here for this last break. But we've got good music still coming your way. How about some Whitney Houston?
Absolutely.
How will I know? How will I know who to trust?
How will I know?
Yeah. How will I know who to trust? We're going to talk about it as we close out the hour on this Therapy Thursday. I'm your girl, America Jones. America in the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on this brand new radio station, Soulher Radio. Okay, it's your girl, America Jones. America in the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on this very special Therapy Thursday. I say all Thursdays are very special, but even more special because I'm joined with just the most incredible human being who is outside serving the community in so many dynamic ways. Congratulations about your most recent proclamation.
Thank you.
So exciting about that. We're around Black Pride. I love it. I'm so happy for it. Dr. Tara J joining us.
And I'm back.
And you're back. So I teased last little break, just a couple of minutes ago, that I had a question I wanted to ask you. And I said this one was really like, dun, dun, dun. Like I needed some other sound effect. I don't think I have it. But what do you think it means to be Black in America right now?
Goodness. I feel like that is a complex question. It's it's loaded. And we need to talk about it more. So I'm going to start with the joy. I'm going to talk about resilience. And I'm going to talk about we are the reason why this country exists.
Amen.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's the culture that is happening, not just here, worldwide. It's because of us.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. 100%. Like I saw this question in on a post from Ebony Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Like they posted this and it was a discussion that they were having and the litany of responses of what does it mean to be Black in America?
Yeah.
And I don't even know. Like I think about this from my nephew's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in a supercharged environment. And although I might exist in I'm going to call the state purple. The state
okay, we'll go with that.
Might be a little bit purple, right? But where he is and where my brother is and where my nephews are and where my sister-in-law is, it's definitely red.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's definitely painful red.
Yep.
And racist red.
Mm-hmm.
Like my nephew's 10,
mm-hmm.
and in the bathroom they see somebody's written on the wall, "I hate N-words." Mm-mm. They're 10.
I hate that.
And the school does not send home a notice.
Of course not.
To the parents and say, "Hey, we had some vandalism in the bathroom. We're trying to figure out what it is." It was nothing.
Because they don't understand the damage that it does.
Nothing. No causality for it.
Yep.
They, just the whole history of all of that. Like, that's not okay.
It's not.
The teachers, the way that they treat children of color in that area, mm-hmm. that they're the problem children, and all the other children. They can watch a kid get kicked. Mm-hmm. And the child of color is the one that's being punished.
Oh, absolutely.
So when I think about what does it mean to be Black in America, it just means, to me, it's like we're always fighting.
Always fighting. And it does a disservice to us, right?
Yeah.
But it also does a disservice to everyone outside, because as much as we think that we have learned, or as much as we think that we're awake, there's still a lot of damage, and there's still a lot of structures that we need to restructure so that we're all on a level playing field.
Yeah.
But also, like, the damage that it's doing to us, it's also doing it to them.
Yeah.
And they're not realizing it.
But I don't think they have to own it. That's the thing. Like they get the excuse.
Yes.
Everyone else gets the excuse. I can think about like making a mistake in my job. Maybe I wasn't perfect on that day, or maybe I was going through a loss of a loved one.
Right.
And then I have to show up and be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm not, I get vilified for it. Mm-hmm. And then my singular mistake outweighs the hundreds of mistakes other people have made.
Well, I mean, there was not any room for grief, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like grief can only happen to a certain group of people, and that's what's the word? That vulnerability that you do have to show to get through grief. We're not allowed to show that. We're not allowed to experience that.
Right. It's like equivalent to pain.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting my tooth pulled in the dentist, and I could feel them pulling it. Mm-hmm. I could feel the roots. I could feel it, right?
Yep.
And I'm like crawling up the chair, like in such pain, like, please just take this tooth out. And the dentist tells me, well, that's all in your head.
No.
And this is common day. Not this ain't like 1572.
Mm-hmm. If I'm telling you it hurts, it hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no pain. And I was like, listen, I'm telling you, I know, and I have such a high threshold for pain. So if it's really painful, it's really painful.
Yep.
So I just think that it is really a hard place. Like, I would never want to be anything other than a Black woman. Like, I am happy in my skin, but it doesn't mean that I'm not tired or that I would like a vacation.
Right. It's both and.
Yeah.
Right? It's both and.
It's all of it. And so for me, it just is. I think this is a really important time in our history. I think it's a really important time about defining who we are and what it is we want to do. And not all Black women want to be entrepreneurs, and they should be allowed to have the space and the opportunity to go and have a job that pays them. Not everybody can have the luxury of starting their own business successfully. Like sometimes you got to fail a few times, which means you've got to have the money to fail.
That part.
Right?
And being able to have that safety net, right?
Right.
Like, many times where it is Black women who are starting these businesses, but also give us a chance and we will probably be the most successful, right? Instead of having a trust fund where you just, make that money go away because you keep starting businesses that are going to go bankrupt because you don't learn from the last, venture that you did.
Well, you didn't do the research.
That part.
And you didn't ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you think you know better.
Oh, yeah. My God.
Mm-hmm.
All the things. Listen, we got more to get into. We've got more to talk about what does it mean to be Black in America. And I've got another edge of this question that is going to throw you for a loop. So I'm looking forward to it. And what better way, since we're talking about where we're from, like what does it mean to be Black here? Yeah. Anthony Hamilton, coming where I'm from, right here on Soulher Radio. Okay, she's like my superhero, like for real. Queen Latifah, ladies first. Soulher Radio. I'm your girl, America Jones, Therapy Thursday. Welcome once again, Dr. Tara J. Thank you so much for hanging out with your girl.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always so good. We've been talking about what does it mean to be Black in America. I got this question from Ebony Magazine. It was so perplexing to me. I couldn't even answer it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to make a great Therapy Thursday because I think we're struggling with identity. And here's the spin for you, right? We just talked about just in general, what does it mean to be Black in America? Yeah. Here's the spin. What does it mean to be Black in America with other Black people?
Oof. I mean, I guess one of the things that I want to say is it depends on the location. Because I do feel that there are certain locations that don't really have an understanding of it. But then there's other locations that are rooted in history. It is rooted in the culture of things. And I feel like that needs to happen more where we're sharing, the stories, the lineage. But that doesn't happen everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, in order for us to be as resilient as we are, we need that information to keep going.
So how do we change the narrative of this like backbiting pieces? Because, we've all been in environments where it's like, not all skin folk is kinfolk, we say those things. But then it's proven. Mm-hmm. It's proven. Mm-hmm. And instead of having this, I feel like we become the company or where we have company to our house. Yeah. And the parent says, don't show your tail while these people are visiting us, but here we are showing our tail all the time. Yeah. And you go to other people's houses and they might be blowing up in the kitchen, the bathroom, everything. They could have a leak and nobody would know the difference because they're standing in solidarity with each other. Right. What is that about?
Well, I think that's a part of redefining what our culture is, right? Like really having an understanding of what our ancestors, and when I say ancestors, it was not that long ago, right? Like I want to look at the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, the movement work that was done. Like we have to look at community. It is our neighbors that are going to take care of us and that we take care of them for us to move forward. And I think that we have lost sight of what it means to be in community with each other.
Yeah. And I think that's systematic though. Yeah. Like the systems are built for us not to be rooted together.
Absolutely. It is set up to divide us. And it in certain places it's working. Yeah. But in other places it's where people are really rooting down to say, no, this is what it means for us to move together.
Yeah. Do you see that also in the political space? Like, I think about what happened with Jasmine Crockett, right? Mm-hmm. And like, I thought she was a shoo-in, but then I also thought maybe not because, is she going to have to live through this trope that she's too loud and she's too aggressive and she's too Black woman, right? And I could just hear that from the Democratic Party. Yeah. I could hear it because we're supposed to be nice.
Right, that part. Where
right? Instead of like being kind. Like, so what? Yeah. Did she stand on business and did she not call Marjorie Taylor Greene? Everybody held on to that. Mm-hmm. But when you needed somebody to stand in the middle, she's an attorney and you need attorneys in there.
Yes. Well, and I think it's for a lot of the Democratic Party, she became too powerful.
Because what is that about?
It's very much about, yes, we want you to do this, but we also don't want you to have the power with it. And we also don't want, it's very limiting. right?
Right. You can be powerful, but only in this box.
Exactly.
And you can only have the kind of power that we tell you that it's okay to have.
She was redefining what it meant, and that could not happen because it needed to be the Democratic Party that was defining it.
So I look at that and it made me think about a couple of things too, in addition to this. It made me think about, could there ever be two women on a ticket?
I think there needs to be.
Vice president.
There needs to be. And it's, this is a thing that I always go off on, where the women who have run for presidency have been the most qualified individuals that we have ever had running for any position. And we as a country, I'm not even going to say the country, could not deal with that.
Right.
Because we do not know how to handle powerful women. We do not know how to handle intellectual women and women that actually know what they're doing. We can't give it to them, and I don't know why.
That is so interesting to me as well. And I think about that from like a mental health perspective. Is there some language besides misogyny? Because I'm gonna throw it that way. Starting because some of this is learned behavior, and you know that the founding of this country was on the back of these white men who really
should not have been doing that. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah, there we go.
Yep.
This was an experiment, as many have said. Right now, we blowing up the lab.
We have to.
Right.
We have
and
to.
so I look at that and I say, like, overall, what's next for us? What's next for Black America? And we're so clamoring, and we talked about this last week about your visit to Chicago and going to the Obama's campus, right? Because it's not just a library; it's literally like a whole center and universe of blackity blackness that is fantastic and unapologetically Black.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna say that. But I also look at it and we're holding on so tight to that history, which we have to because we're going through systemic erasure.
Yep.
But who are we holding on to for the future?
Yeah, I don't know. Like in those situations, it is a reminder of the importance of community organizing. It is a reminder of being able to hold that history and to pass it on because of that erasure. But it's also remember who you are, right? Like, we are always Black first. That is important, and we need to hold that. What does it mean outside of, like, yes, all of these things are happening. We're getting pushed out of community. We're getting pushed out of the country, and we are the ones that are going to make the country move forward. Like,
right.
We have to look at that.
I mean, we invented the freaking stoplight. And ice cream and potato chips, all American things, right? But so you don't die on the roads because you got a stoplight.
I mean,
you get to eat great potato chips while you're the electricity. Yep,
right.
The internet.
I mean, we've invented a lot of things that our names were taken off of.
Computer screens. I'm just saying. I mean, I could go for days because, and that's coming up on Soulher as well. We're going to be dropping in these little moments of like Soulher history, talking about like what is it that we have done, because I don't think we hear these stories enough. We don't celebrate ourselves enough, and we only do it during 1 month of the year. And we are celebrating all the time.
Yes,
there's always something that makes us, astronomical and makes us larger than life and really makes us evolve people overall.
Yeah.
Like, we change culture.
Yes.
We are the culture.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying. We got a little bit more, but right now we're going to jump into a good crate classic off Hot, Cool, Vicious album, Salt and Pepper. Let's push it. Pick up on this. Listen, how will I know who to trust? We covered so many things in this Therapy Thursday edition. I could take like another hour and really get into some deeper topics with you, Dr. J. But we're at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But let's talk. Let's end this show and know that you'll come back and we'll have greater discussions and you'll be able to weigh in. The community will be able to call us and give us their thoughts. Matter of fact, I'm going to share the number 310-999-2391. 310-999-2391. You can send us a text. You can give us a call. Let us know what you're thinking on this Therapy Thursday. You're involved in the content that we create, and this is one of those places. We're trusting you to trust us.
I love it.
Yeah. So tell us as the final words, what would you say about trust?
Oof. It is something that you need to build. But it is something that once you have the ability to do, not just with yourself, but with other people, living authentically, it becomes a little easier.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're trusting that you are growing with